You're live.
It's Sunday night. What's happening, everybody? Kathy?
Yeah.
Kathy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm enjoying my breakfast of champions. I've got my coffee, my nicotine, and my fortune cookies.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Chris Greenmaster says, am I really the first one here?
You are, brother, man. You're the
No.
only one here. Tonight,
No,
it's
Nick
just,
Bruni is
it's
here,
just
and
us.
Buffalo
It's
Campbell
just
is
us.
here.
Nobody else, bro.
And Mexican Spec.
And Mexican spec, go away. It's just
What
us.
do you mean don't tell
and
him
Cre-
go away?
I thought we were going to do the Chris Freemaster
Special?
special live.
No. No.
No?
No.
Ah.
I don't know.
These are my fortune cookies, Maggie.
Oh, yeah?
All right.
Were you eating fortune cookies?
Yeah, coffee and fortune cookies.
What? Ford LTD 1976 says, greetings from Texas.
Greetings, my brother.
Josh Each says, howdy.
Howdy.
Oh, you gonna read that?
You gotta read it.
Give Maggie a cookie. Don't talk with him on the phone.
No.
No, he says. No.
Journey with an open heart,
Uh-huh.
and you'll find beauty in unexpected places.
Oh. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on, Tony?
Coffee, fortune cookies, and Pat and Maggie.
Okay.
Yeah, fortune cookies.
Russ Bucket says, happy Sunday, Uncle Tony.
Happy Sunday.
What's up, Food Bar?
Fubar.
You hurt my ears. It's a
We gotta send the guys
C.
fortune cookies.
Charlie C. I
That's
think
my
they
new
can get
obsession.
them where they live. Charlie's on here. Charlie Roma.
Charlie, what's
Why
happening,
did I
brother?
say Charlie C. Charlie R. Charlie Roma. Tony blew my ears out yelling.
Oh,
Let's see. Speed Demon says, Tony.
what's happening?
Zero's here. Hello,
Zero.
Tony's eating in front of us. Did
I'm
you
not
bring
eating in
enough
front of you.
cookies for the entire class, Mr. DeFeo?
Yeah, actually, I got like 8 of them. Yeah.
That's not enough.
Well, it's not for me.
It's not
And Maggie.
enough.
Maggie loves fortune cookies too, right, Maggie? But she doesn't smoke.
Bama 5.0 says, hello, Tony and gentlemen.
What is happening?
Let's see.
Come on, keep going. Keep going.
All
Dead
right,
air. No good.
Tony
Can't have
and
dead air.
Kathy from Connecticut, Robert Rio says. Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
The home of the $18 Big Mac.
Yeah. Coffee? Do you have coffee? Yeah.
Yes, I have coffee.
Mm-hmm. Happy
Yeah.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Jeff Hutchins.
That's not my fortune cookie.
So, Tony,
Yes.
you bought a Jeep? Another
Yes.
Jeep.
How crazy is that, right?
So, I get on my Facebook,
Your Facebook.
and I see that there's a message. And I click on it. And I'm like, it says sold. And I'm like, what did you buy? And I'm like, oh, come on. And I texted him, stop buying Jeeps. It's
I use her.
exclamation
I
point.
use her
He
Facebook.
pretends to be me.
I can't hide anything from her because I use her Facebook. Well, so you guys can sneak one past the old lady. I can't.
No, but you buy things pretending to be me all the time. So,
You know why?
why?
Because. Maybe. Because if you embrace new adventures and watch your life come alive,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
What happens?
you get a Jeep. You get another Jeep.
Another Jeep. Not get a Jeep, get Jeep number 4.
Could have been worse. I could have bought another motorcycle.
No, that wasn't part of the plan. You talked about getting a car.
A car, a Jeep. It's an in-between thing. It's a sport wagon. Okay?
Is that
Thank
what
you.
it is?
Yes.
What do you guys think of the Jeep? XJ Jabs.
It's a problem because I spent the entire day with it today, and I had planned on doing other things. But I'm going to make a video of it tomorrow because actually it ended up a pretty interesting troubleshooting video. And I'm going to do that tomorrow. So I should have been working on other stuff, but I was like, no, I gotta at least get this thing run. So
Wayne Puzzle says originally I believe it was marketed as a station wagon.
Yes, a sport wagon. It was marketed as.
It's a station wagon. I don't know. I don't think it's a station wagon. I don't know.
I don't care what anybody says. The XJ is man's greatest achievement. That it's perfect in every way, shape, and form.
I have to say I was a little disappointed.
I know you want another car. We have cars everywhere. We got
like
cars.
Variety.
We don't touch.
Well, we have 4 Jeeps. 4 Jeeps.
We don't have 4 Jeeps.
We do.
No. We have 4 vehicles.
Okay, watch everyone. We're gonna argue now.
We have 4 vehicles
Yeah.
that have completely different purposes that just happen to be the same. Okay?
Okay.
We have the one we've been using as a daily.
Yeah.
Do you argue about using that?
Well, I don't really
You're always like,
use it.
can you leave me the Jeep?
Well,
Can you leave me
because
the Jeep? You never say, can you leave me the Swinger?
No, because I have to put Winnie in it.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
and I don't want to put Winnie in the Swinger.
so we have, that's a perfect vehicle for that. Then we have the black one,
Yeah.
which is a 4x4.
Right.
Aren't you glad we had that when we had the snow and ice a couple of weeks ago?
I don't want to live in the winter anymore.
I know, I don't
discussed
either.
that.
But weren't you glad
We're
we
moving
had
to
it?
Florida, everybody.
We're not moving to Florida. We're gonna pick up a place in Florida for next winter, but no.
Oh, are we?
I think it would be a good idea, but I
Where
can't
should we
think
go
about
in
that now. I
Florida?
can't think about that now.
I'm asking everybody.
What's that?
I'm asking everybody where we should go in Florida.
We're not going too far down. We're not going too far down.
You have to stay near the tracks.
Just a winter place.
Just a winter place.
Just a winter place. So we have the daily. We have the 4x4. Okay, which is a good backup daily. Then we have the white one that you got to admit that thing runs and drives perfect.
I've never driven it.
You were in it a couple of days ago,
Yeah, I was in it the other day.
right?
Yeah,
How's it run?
good. It runs good.
It looks good. It runs good. Everything's good with it, right?
UTG Florida, man.
That's our tow vehicle.
Yeah.
And now I need a drag jeep.
We talked about that. Now you need a drag jeep.
Now we need a drag jeep.
Can't we get something cool?
There will be nothing cooler than the drag jeep.
Bama says Pensacola.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, is that
That's
what you're
I'm
thinking?
Yeah.
Why? So it's an easy trip straight to Murfreesboro?
So okay, so if we pick up something that's like
Is it warm there though? That's not really that warm.
Yes, it is. Please, it's
No,
ridiculous.
it's not.
Yeah, it's on the It's on the
Yeah,
Gulf.
but it's not that warm in the winter.
I don't want to get a place. I don't want to get a place in Florida. I don't want to get a place in Florida that we'll only use once in a blue moon because it's so far out of the way, right? But something in Pensacola is just about 5 hours down the road. So it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Oh, I feel like going down to Florida for a couple of days. Oof, and you go. You see what I'm saying?
Move in with Cletus.
Cletus would only be about 2 hours down the road. 3 hours.
Tony gets his 4th XJ. Means Kathy finally gets her Monte. You know what's funny, Tony? Since I met you, I've been trying to get a car. I still really don't have one. None of the cars are actually like mine.
They're all yours.
They're all mine.
I drop dead. Who gets them all?
That's not the point. That's not the point. I don't want you to drop dead. Pensacola is still armpitish.
Yes, thank you.
Why do we want an armpit?
Florida is like an armpit.
What are you talking about?
It's hot and sweaty. The whole thing. All of Florida.
Murder Nova says we need a Monte Carlo on the channel.
Maybe at some point, but not now. Not now. I know what I want to do with this Jeep. I know it's. Listen, I drove. You guys, listen. I drove one of these. So about 15 years ago, we got into the used car business, right, for a little while. We partnered up with a guy. So we bought a bunch of different vehicles, and in that mix was a 5-speed 4-liter XJ, right? It was before I fell in love with XJs. My head was still just like Mopar, right? So I had to do some work with it. It had a bad computer, ironically enough. But anyway, it had a bad computer. I had to do some work with it. I get the thing running, and I took it for, just a ride. I'm like, oh, this is pleasant. Zip, zip, zip. And then I said, well, let's see how this thing goes. Drop it down at first, stomp it. It ripped. I mean, first gear was like like nothing you would ever expect from an inline 6-cylinder Jeep. I mean, that thing just rocked. Power shifted second. It barked the tires. It pulled hard through second. I says, this is really spectacular. But at the time, like I says, I had no real interest in this sort of thing. So we ended up selling it, and it went off. But that was the experience I had, and it stuck with me all these years. So now I have this one, and we're going to go back, and we're going to see how fast we can make it. It's going to be a fun project.
I like 4 speeds.
It's 5-speed.
I know.
It's one more than you like.
It is one more than I like.
You know what I have to say about that?
Cars. You have a super chat.
Thank you.
Philip Reed says, how would you decide if a project's worth fixing? I really want to fix the Mark V, but due to part availability,
that's a
and
problem.
feel like I've bit off more than I can chew, I'm a bit lost.
I've made many videos over the years where I talk exactly about that, where unless you're committed to a particular car and you're looped into the network of people who are in that particular car and you know where the parts stashes are and everything else, some of them are just not worth getting involved in. And I'm not trying to talk you out of your project. I'm just being honest with you. Like, you have to be committed to that car. Like, I love this car. It's the only car I love, and you'll find the parts. You'll find the ways, but some vehicles are just very complicated, very unique and orphaned in that there isn't a big aftermarket following for it. So it's like, or replacement parts. So some cars fall into that heading, and you might be better off passing it off to somebody who really does like that sort of thing. Find something a little more common that you can get common parts for. You know, I keep using Rock Auto. People are like, he's sponsored by Rock Auto. I swear to God, I'm not sponsored by Rock Auto. We don't do any of those affiliate links or any of that freaking nonsense. But I use that as my benchmark because I can find just about everything I need from my 1960s and 1970s Mopars on Rock Auto.
Civic.
Civic. No.
You almost said Civic.
No. I need ball joints. I need a control valve. I need whatever it is. Boom, there it is. It's on Rock Auto. How do you beat that? You're not going to find those parts like certain cars. And you know.
I think Dr. Art is here. But
the other thing I always say is.
What are you saying? You're chopping cookie a little bit.
I know. That's why I got Maggie. You know, what I always say is traveling is not just about escaping reality.
Oh, it's not?
No,
it's
about.
It was.
No.
Oh.
It's about creating a better one.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Maggie.
Thank goodness we have a cookie to tell us that. What?
I'm crunching.
Don't talk with your mouth full.
Okay.
It's rude. Yes, get it, Maggie. She's chewing too.
She's a good girl.
I've seen maybe one Cutlass with a manual. Oh, they don't, G-bodies don't have manuals. All automatic.
Say that again now?
So somebody's saying they saw one Cutlass with a manual. Do G-bodies don't come with manuals?
They were fairly common in 78, 79,
Okay.
and 80.
Okay, but not after that.
Yeah, the first generation of G-bodies, they were common. I had a Buick. Was it a Rita Century? Whatever it was, but it was a slope back Buick. Mm-hmm. That was a V6 with a 5-speed. And that was the only manual transmission. It was back when I was flipping cars. But yeah, they were fairly common, 78, 79, 80, and then after 81, I think there weren't any. Could be wrong about that.
Monk from Philly says Maggie rules.
Maggie is the best. She's the best puppy.
Good girl, where is she?
You want to come up here?
She's little.
You want to come up here? You want the cookies.
Yeah, she wants the cookies.
She loves the cookies. We'll have another one in a couple of minutes. I only have 4 left, Maggie. She can't read the fortunes, so I don't just give them to her.
You can't read them?
No.
Winnie can read them.
Hi, Darla.
Territory says, Tony, it's time to find an XJ grocery getter.
I have one. I use the.
No more XJs.
No, we have our XJ grocery getter.
We're done.
We have our grocery getter, we have our off-roader, we have our tow vehicle, and now we got a drag one. And they're all the same.
What's up,
I
Olive?
love that.
They're all the same.
You have no idea how much I love that. In a perfect world, okay. So if I lived in a
So
perfect world,
weird.
I know this is gonna sound crazy,
It's
okay?
strange.
No, but this is like my philosophy. Take it to the max.
Yeah, right.
In a perfect world, I would have like
All right, darling.
10 vehicles that were absolutely perfectly exactly identical. 100% everything would interchange between them. They would all be different colors and different like interiors and stuff like that, and it would be modified for different themes. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately they would all be exactly identical. So I could just take. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard to do that.
That's really. Yeah.
That is Lily.
Yeah.
Oh, and Winnie. Okay. All right.
I'll be right back.
No, I'll be right back. Keep them going. Here, read them a fortune cookie.
I
Here.
can't and hold this two at the same time. Okay, Maggie is like a whack-a-mole, yeah. A whack-a-mole game. I know. Let's see. I can't open the cookie with one hand. I'm holding the computer. Olive Drab, Dean Stevenson. Mexican Spec says, good evening. What happened to our muscle car content? The XJ is a turned? You mean turd? I don't know. Ask Tony when he gets back. I don't know. He has plans. He's got fancy plans. I'm not going to question him.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so
I give them all.
Chris Anyway says, what happened to our muscle car content? The XJ is a turd.
It is not a turd. You just don't understand it. It's that simple.
The fortune says, lay off the XJs to fail.
Give me the
Here.
cookie. Is that what it says?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Anybody who doesn't love the XJ is just misinformed.
Is that what it is?
I'm telling you. What the joy is, you know.
Well, you know, not everyone understands your fancy plans.
Huh?
Not everybody understands your fancy plans. The XJ is bent underneath.
You guys will understand what I'm doing after I'm dead.
Oh my God. Why do you say stuff like that? What's wrong with you?
But the bottom line, okay, is that a change of scenery can change your perspective on life.
It's talking about traveling. Again. So where are we going?
We'll look for a place in Florida, but not now.
Okay. Let's see. Don't let the naysayers sway you, Adam Herbert says.
Nobody sways me.
No, Tony doesn't. Tony wants
I don't sway. Even when they're right.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
He's very hard-headed. He does what he wants to do, when he wants to do it, how he wants to do it. So don't even think anybody has
Even when they're right. I know when they're right.
Yeah. It doesn't matter though.
Doesn't matter.
And you know, you just have to accept that about you. Adam Herbert says, amen, Tony.
Hey, maybe it's your coffee.
So the fortune cookie is talking about Pensacola, Florida.
No, Pensacola is exactly what I was thinking. Because she's like, I can't take another winter.
No, I can't. Like,
we have the mildest winters here. And I'm not saying she's wrong.
I'm not wrong. I'm just done.
I'm not saying she's wrong. We have the mildest winters here. They only really last 2 months, where it's winter. But then, it's a bitch.
But something broke in me. I told you.
I know, me too.
Something broke in me this year. I'm like, you know what? That's it.
Me too.
I'm done.
Me too.
I'm done with it.
Yeah, I agree.
I used to love it, and now I'm like, no more.
I agree. But I was saying this 30 years ago.
I know. But
I
always like.
I love the change of seasons.
I did.
Oh, jeez.
I used to.
I love the fall.
I told you.
Fall means
happened.
the icy grip of death is upon us. Okay? That's what fall means.
I did usually enjoy the fall. But.
The snow makes everything pretty.
Yeah, no, not anymore.
Frozen, slushy death.
I'm sorry to all the people that have snow right now.
You have no idea the hell she's given me over the last 30 years about this.
You can't let that go.
No, I can't let that go.
Facebook.
It's true, you told me on Facebook.
I get on there, I see messages all the time. What'd you buy? He's always on Marketplace.
You guys don't see half the stuff in it.
It's funny. It's just funny. I'm like, you have a message.
And they all think they're dealing with her.
Oh yeah, sometimes they're jerks because they think they're dealing with me. It's funny. I said if they knew it was a guy, they wouldn't talk to you like that.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, let's see. Adam Herbert says, I'm a plow driver in Jersey. I despise winter. I'm sorry.
Telling you.
Yeah. Jersey. I know. Oh, try living in Denmark in a freaking caravan. Yeah, I guess it's...
Try no.
No.
Just no.
No, yeah, we're good.
That's a hard no.
Dr. Art says, buy a townhouse in Pensacola. You can have known winter neighbors.
The problem with the townhouse is that we okay, so if we go down there, it's not like we could stop doing content.
No, yeah, we're going to still do stuff.
So I have to have a place in Florida that's you know, like I could keep a couple of cars and wrench on stuff and everything else. So a townhouse could be a bit of an issue.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It beats both New York climates. Well, New York is pretty humid.
Yeah. Yeah, well, New York, you get the bitter cold because of the salt water, the water that comes off the ocean. See, we don't get that here. We don't get that here. Sometimes you get some of the moisture that comes off the Gulf, but for the most part, it's like a dry cold. It's really not that bad. This year we had like 2 weeks of like winter. Okay, like where it's just like it was shitty out there, snow and ice and like 0 degrees, and that's generally all we really get. For the most part, it's a mildish winter. But I've gotten to the point that if it's not 60 degrees and sunny.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. Like today was like it was in the 50s and it was overcast, and I'm like, I hate this. You know.
So you're saying I hate this? You were going crazy like those really cold days. You're like, what's the weather? But you look like you were gonna go into like despair, like a spiral. You were in a downward spiral.
Do you remember? You remember 2 years ago?
Yeah, we had a freeze, really bad.
They were predicting a cold snap, and it was after like a week of cold or 2 weeks of cold, and then they were like, it's gonna be 0 degrees, and I was like, Cat, get the dogs, put them in a truck, we're going to Florida.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like that, just gone. I just go down to Florida and ride it out. So we did.
Yeah.
And almost died.
And almost died coming back because it was 17 degrees in the truck. Yeah, we're never doing that again. Yeah. Well, we've learned our lesson, right? I learned my lesson. We're done with winter.
I'm totally done with winter.
Okay. Tony's a snowbird, yeah.
Yeah.
Tony, at your age, you should cherish every day no matter the weather.
Now, you're right about that. You're right about that. After you turn 60, it's like every day above the grass is like, you're getting lucky. And I'm at that age now where I do believe I know more dead people than I know living people. So, yeah. Every day is like, whee! You made it.
Okay, Philip Reed sent you super chat.
Thank you.
I am dead set on fixing it, but it's the first car I will have done more than change the oil on. Parts for the interior and electrics are not impossible to find. I think it's because I'm a perfectionist.
Well, I mean, see, everybody has different... See, that's a personal thing you're getting at now, right? You're like your personal goals and your personal priorities, which are going to be different for everybody. Like Kiwi, for example, is a perfectionist. Okay, if you've probably never seen the cars that he's built for himself, and they're like ridiculous. But he found this wagon, and now he's like all off in the rat rod thing. So not rat rod, the patina, just the survivor preserve thing. So yeah, sometimes you just got to temper your desires. Depending on what you got to work with. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, so let's see. User says, hey, Uncle Tony, I've watched your videos on bed parts. I've experienced this from parts store parts and Amazon parts. Been scouring boneyards harder. There's more competition because it's tough now.
It's tough. There's a lot of bad stuff out there, and it's going to get worse.
Have you got anything bad lately?
No, not lately. Not lately. If I did, I probably would have done a video on it.
Yeah.
No, everything's been going pretty smooth lately, but I haven't really been buying a lot of parts either.
I don't know. What's all those Rock Auto boxes?
Well, there's all the brake stuff for the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
For the 73 Roadrunner. There's all the brake stuff for the Belvedere, which I got to bring over there and do that. There's, I don't know, there's like parts for 2 or 3 different cars that we're working on as we go forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what's in those boxes?
Yes.
Well, hopefully they're all good.
We'll find out.
Let's see. User says had 2 bumper brackets arrive smashed to tow crap because they packed them in bag instead of a box.
That's pretty rough handling to mess up a bumper bracket.
Yeah. Yeah, what has to happen? It has to get run over by a car.
It has to be in a plane crash. It's a bumper bracket for racing.
Aren't they?
Yes, that's their job. Is to be extremely
it's like
strong.
the strongest part of the car,
It's
isn't
the
it?
strongest part of the car, yes. She's right. Yeah, come to think of it, it's the strongest part of the car. It would have to go like literally through like an Armageddon like event to like.
I don't know. It's funny. Maybe they were rubber baby buggy bumpers.
It has to be like the finger of God pointing. Fuck that bumper bracket. That's the only way it can happen.
It's funny. No, Rusty, we don't. This is just natural.
Oh, I need another fortune cookie. Meg, you ready for another fortune cookie?
Let's see.
Yes, Winnie, you can have a fortune cookie too.
What do you think about Ford 460 big blocks? Good motors?
They're good. Yes, they're very good, but I never really, I don't have any affinity towards them. They're big, but really that's their virtue. They're good motors. They're good motors. I'm just not. They don't talk to me.
No, Rusty, we're sure we don't.
But you know what does talk to me?
What? Your
fortune cookie.
Your cookie talks to you.
And it says,
What's it say?
spontaneity is the key to unlocking the door of endless possibilities.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
It is true.
You understand, Maggie? No.
Maggie understands it. She gets it. What's up, 2 hacks?
I'm very spontaneous. You can tell by how many things I buy on Marketplace.
He's like, oh, I was talking to you about getting another car. And you're like, no more cars. No more cars. Do you see how many vehicles we have? He says to me, we're not getting any more. We're going to work with what we've got. And then I get on my Facebook and I'm like, what'd you buy?
But I got rid of a lot of stuff.
No, you said that afterwards.
Wait a second. Let's get something straight.
Don't
Wait. Let's go to something straight. We bought the first Jeep, okay?
Yeah.
And then you said,
What did I say?
we should have a 4-wheel drive one.
Well, yeah, because it was convenient. Right.
So I went and got a 4-wheel drive one.
Because he did get stuck that one time at John's.
Right. So I went and got a 4-wheel drive one. Because you wanted that, right? You wanted that.
Well, it's good to have. It's handy.
Stop. Okay, so now...
Because we have snow in Tennessee and ice.
Did you say hi to 2 hacks? 2 hacks?
I did say hello.
What's happening, brother man? So then, okay, every time we go any place, we tow anywhere, you're always like, this truck is hell. I'm dying in this truck.
No, I can't hear you. It's super loud.
You can't hear me. It's loud. It's hot. It's crazy.
Oh, you could fix it up. We're gonna fix it up.
Yeah, not really. It's still in a round
put an
town.
aftermarket AC unit in there. You could do that. We could put insulation inside of it. We could do that. That's not a big deal. So it won't be so loud.
No. It's just not a comfortable thing to go long distance in. It's comfortable for around town. It's what's it designed for? It's not designed to be on the road for hours.
Tell them what truck you're talking about.
The Wrecker.
The Wrecker, yeah.
So
very loud. You
extremely
can't talk
loud.
when
It's
up.
yeah, and it's just not. I just don't want to put that kind of time in it.
Dr. Art says the tow truck is hell. Were you in it, Dr. Art?
Yes, Dr. Art
Yeah,
was in it with me
it's
for
very uncomfortable.
right. So
if you're in it for like 2 hours, like you're done by the time you get out.
So I said to you, I'm going to get something comfortable to tow with.
Yeah, right.
Boom! I picked up the white XJ.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a good thing to tow with.
No, but it's interchangeable parts with our other XJs.
I understand.
So now I can stockpile parts. So I need an alternator, I need a water pump, I need a
But I always
head, I
felt
need
comfortable
whatever.
on the tow truck because I knew that it was a heavy truck and it was very heavy duty.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
And I didn't really worry about anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I drove it. Like I would be worried if I had to drive the XJ with the trailer.
No,
I would
you'll
be
be
worried,
fine.
but I was able to drive the tow truck with the trailer.
But you gotta say, if you keep it in the 50, 60 mile an hour range, which is all we ever tow with the wrecker, it's fine. There'll never be a problem. It's you start going 75, 80 miles an hour. That's where you start to run into problems. But if we tow along at 60, at like the same way we always do, it'll never give a problem. So 3 of those XJs, right, are on you.
What do you mean they're on me? How is it on me?
You wanted the first one.
No.
You said you wanted a Wagoneer. We looked at Wagoneers.
But it's to carry the dogs around.
Yes.
Because we need something to travel with.
Yes.
And put the dogs in.
Yes.
Like if we wanted to go to Florida.
Yes. So you wanted the first one. Then you wanted the second one.
No, it was
then
a matter
you want
of
the comfort.
Necessity.
Yes,
like,
we got it.
Go
Yes.
around with the dogs with like the swinger.
So I only added one more that you didn't authorize, and that's the one that you're bitching about.
Wait a minute, I didn't authorize. What? I like how you twist things. That's funny.
That's it's one of my gifts.
It's one of your gifts. You should have been a lawyer. I think it's time for an XJ intervention. Yeah.
Listen, I got rid of
Oh my goodness.
4 cars.
I didn't tell you to do that.
But I'm saying I got rid of all stuff. I got rid of 4 vehicles and 5 motorcycles.
Right. What? But you like that.
And I added 2. So I got rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got rid of 9 things.
Yeah.
And I brought 2 in.
Uh-huh.
That's a net loss of 7.
I'm just saying, like you're.
Okay. And the one motorcycle is John's. So I only have 3 freaking motorcycles.
How many do you have?
3.
You only have 3?
Yeah, that's it.
Do you hear yourself?
How many motorcycles do I have in New York?
It doesn't matter.
How many did I have in New York?
You have 3 motorcycles.
How many did I have in New York?
The first part is admitting you have a problem with your rentals.
How many did I have in New York?
I don't know, a lot.
28.
28 motorcycles.
I had 28. How many do I have now?
You know.
3.
3.
3. And John's. So 3.5. I have custody of John's little Yamaha.
But you have that little bike too.
The mini bike?
Yeah.
Well, that's for taking it.
That's not considered a bike.
No. That's for taking it like we go someplace and instead of having to walk all over, you jump on a pit bike.
Right.
And watch Dr. Art crash it in the parking lot. Because that's always entertaining.
That was terrible, Tony.
That was the funniest thing. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm sorry, Dr. Art. I'm sorry that happened to you. Awful. He comes home, he tells me the story, and I'm like, I started cracking up because it's so ridiculous.
I cried. It was funny. I mean, he didn't get hurt. He just had like a black eye.
Obviously, you can't laugh if you got actually really hurt. Well, black eye is pretty bad.
All right, I got to tell the story now because people are like, what the hell is he talking about? So Dr. Art comes by, this is about a year ago now, right? So Dr. Art comes by the shop, and he's talking about his electric, whatever it was, the little, the go-kart. So I showed him my little bike. I got rid of the big one. I just kept the one. So it's a Coleman 100. It's the little tiny Coleman 100, and it's got a 200 on it. So, and I made a pipe for it, and it's got a carburetor, and it runs really good, right? So, but it looks innocent. Like you look at this thing and you're like, oh, that's so cute. So Dr. Art gets on it, right? And he starts it up. and gets a few feet down, out into the parking lot. And just before I could say, hey, watch when you get in the throttle, he slams it. When he slams it, the thing flips over like this.
Horrible.
Throws him flat on his back.
Horrible. And you're laughing about it.
Because it was just the way it happened. It was just the way it happened. So I walked over to him and says, you okay? He says, yeah, I'm all right. I says, I should have told you. It's a little hair trigger. Because like I said, you look at this thing and you don't expect it. So he's shaking it off. And he says, Dr. Art, the only way you get thrown off the horse, you got to get back on.
You're evil.
No. I was honestly trying to
What?
I was trying to be like, the guy friend. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like, okay, well, you just got beat by that thing. Get on there and show who's boss, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
So I might have actually said that.
You could have said that.
Just get on there and show who's boss. So he fires it up again, and he's a little apprehensive about it, which, makes sense. And
He was just thrown off of it.
so he gives it a little gas. He starts flying away, and he's doing good. And it looks like he's about to make a turn. And he gets into the gas again, and this thing shoots up from under him into the woods. So from my perspective across the parking lot, I see this thing wheeling off into the woods as Dr. Art flying off to the side. And there's weeds and dirt, everything all kicked up. Like those Vietnam movies where the bomb hits the rice paddies. It was like that. So at that point, Dr. Hart was like, I think I have enough. Yeah.
He had a black eye.
Like a black
It's not funny. Stop laughing.
Oh,
Your kid does right.
you had to be there. Yeah. I think you were alive.
Oh my gosh. I wonder how many people are unsubbing right now. All right.
You had to be there.
Andrew Austin sent you a super chat.
Thank you.
He says, love your videos, Tony. Hope to see you on the Power Tour this year.
We're definitely, well, it's going to be literally 2 miles from my shop.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely be at the Nashville one. And depending on how things work out, we may go for a stop, a stop or two. We may join up and go Kiwi, his guy Steve, Dr. Art, and a couple other people. So we may join up for a stop or two.
Did I get the dog sitter?
What's that?
Did I get the dog sitter for those days?
Oh, jeez, I don't know. We're taking a charger. We'll just take the dogs.
All of them?
Sure.
I don't know if that's a good idea. All right, I'm gonna let her know tomorrow because that could be hairy. Okay. Yeah, they're laughing.
You had to be there.
Let's see. Dead Dog's Garage says, hey guys, just finished putting a fridge at my mom's, so I'm right on time as usual.
Excellent. That was good short, Jamie. Good short. I like that.
Let's see. Tava says, hey everyone, quick drop in to say hi.
What's happening, Tavo?
The first gen Charger is the perfect dog car too.
It is. That's when we
Might get
first.
hot back there.
Yeah, it had to be right.
Yeah.
When we first got it, we called it the dog chaser.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but we never used it for that purpose.
I think it might be hard to. We can't take her in a group of people. Maggie.
Let her scream.
No.
Let her do
Who
what
wants
she's
to
gonna
deal
do.
with that? 4 dogs and the 2 of us? No, that's not. No. If she was well behaved and she wasn't reactive, that would be okay. But she's got some real issues.
All right, we'll cross all these bridges when we get to them.
Yeah. Let's see. Tony, what's an O2 Grand Cherokee? Is it considered an XJ?
No. No, Grand Cherokee is not an XJ. An XJ is just a regular Cherokee. And they started building them in 2001. It's a different vehicle, completely different vehicle.
Dr. Autozone, he says, hey Jamie, I could smell the rust on that charger.
Rust on what charger?
Jamie's charger, I guess.
I thought that was like, no, Jamie's charger's nice.
Is it nice?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's what Dr. Roth said. Let's see. Tony, how much horsepower do you think you can wring out of that 4.0?
I don't know. It'll take... Okay, so let's talk about that. So 190 horsepower, flywheel horsepower, okay, which is the same as like the old days, be about 225, 230 horsepower, rated the old way, the current way, the old way, but pre-1971. 190 horsepower with the flywheel. Where's my phone?
Yeah, Dr. Gross has a new charger. He says, no, my new one, Tony.
A new charger?
Yeah.
I thought you just got a new XJ. He got another XJ too. He's got two of them.
Well, he got a new charger too.
Oh, shit.
He has cars too, not just XJs.
So I gotta get more cars.
He's a lot more diverse than you are.
Well, yeah.
We're gonna have to get more cars, I'm sorry.
Oh, please. Oh, God, I don't want more cars. Hang on. Hold back.
I have a super chat.
Go ahead. Read me the super chat.
I can't. You're walking away.
Just read it. Hang on.
I'm not yelling. We'll wait for him to come back. Maggie's looking for fortune cookies. Anything up there, Maggie? You've been a busy boy, Jamie.
Okay, read me the super chat.
More cars start with Kathy's Monte Carlo, Tony.
No!
No, he says no.
No Monte Carlos.
No Monte Carlos. Nothing like that. Okay. Nothing remotely like that. Philip Reed says, I know how to fix my problem. I'm going to sit in the Mark V and repeat. It's a POS. And when I'm done, it will only be slightly less of a POS.
I like cars. Me personally, I like 75% cars. I'm happy with a 75% car. Like, in other words, perfect is 100%. Okay? And
Oh, you don't like perfect cars.
Literal scrap
You
is
like
0.
scrap.
I like to start at scrap.
Yeah.
And go to about 75%. Because your 75% car, you're cool with.
See, I'm wondering, when you bought the XJ, why you didn't try and find something that was a little straighter that didn't need that kind of work?
2-door, lightest, 2-wheel drive,
Yeah.
5-speed.
You couldn't find that straight?
That combination does not exist. Nobody ordered them like that. Nobody ordered them like that. Most people ordered 4-doors, which is heavier. Most people got 4-wheel drive, which is like Jeep, gonna have 4-wheel drive. And most people order automatics. So to get that combination, the lightest vehicle with the stick,
Yeah.
yeah, and 2-wheel drive, no.
You can't
that
find a
doesn't exist.
clean one.
What's
You
that?
can't find a clean one. It doesn't exist.
No, that's
So you had to
exceedingly
get
rare.
one that was really beat up.
It's not really beat up. The paint will come up nice. Just relax. Just relax.
Just relax. You know what happens when you tell a woman to relax,
Hang
right?
on. Where is it here? Okay, talk.
You told me to hang on, so
I know, but
I'm
talk
talking.
while I do this.
Let's see. Ice Spider Garage says, hi, Uncle Tony's Garage from Mesa, Arizona.
Howdy. Okay, so car weight. The curb weight on it is 3,040 pounds. All right, so the shipping weight's like 2,800 pounds or thereabouts. Curb weight is the weight of the vehicle with oil, antifreeze, spare tire, all the stuff that it needs to actually go down the road. So the estimated curb weight is 3,040 pounds. All right, so let's put that in there. Oh, and of course I'm 190, so make it 3,200 pounds. 3230. So wait, 3230. All right, flywheel horsepower. Okay, we're looking at 190. Okay, and so that works out to 60 footer of a 2.3 60 foot, which I know is wrong. Well, would be wrong with this application because it's got such a deep first gear. So that's going to be way off. But that's besides the point. Just going off those basic numbers on the power speed calculator, you end up with an eighth mile of 1060 and a quarter mile of 1557. Okay, so that's without touching anything, and that's not taking into account the super deep first gear with this. This is an average. They make their calculations based on average, and average is generally with an automatic transmission. So we're looking at a vehicle that's going to start off right there in the 1550, 1530 range. We can get this thing down into the 13s just by finessing things. Certain stuff is gonna leave. You know, okay. So we're not gonna gut it. It's not gonna. I don't want this to where, you know, you look at it and you say, oh, that's a gutted fucking race car, right? No. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the interior 100%, you know, intact. Not gonna be drilling holes and stuff and all kinds of other shit like that. It's gonna remain intact. So I'm gonna go like my Mustang, but I know I could still get 300 or 400 pounds out of it and have it be intact, because it's just a lot of stuff. There's just a ton of stuff that I could pull out of it that nobody's ever gonna miss. And then the motor, 190 horsepower, and that's with the stock tune. So now it's OBD2. So Dr. Art, who's a tuner, can get in there and he can work with the computer, and I can do the little basic reducing parasitic losses. And yeah, a 13-second ET out of that thing is a no-brainer. So now, where's the fun in that? Okay, the fun in that is line up against, you know, a typical 1960s muscle car, right, or a 70s muscle car, or even, you know, a Charger RT that doesn't have the sharpest driver, you know, and you're gonna whomp them with a stock inline 6-cylinder Jeep. That is a lot of fun. That's where the fun is. Yes, don't look at me like that.
What? I just looked at you. Why?
You looked at me like you were surprised. Like,
no.
Oh my God,
no,
that's a revelation.
I didn't look at you like anything. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Ree Riley says, I think you'll get considerable gains out of the 4.0 by massaging the stock parts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think there's going to be a lot of gains just in the computer, just in tuning it.
Let's see. Whoa, sell on honey. 4 doors never felt so good. Oh, Dean Stevenson.
Oh, hey Dean. How are you?
Let's see. Scarlet Fire says, my 30-year-old friend hates 2-door cars. That's his generation.
Yeah, I don't care. 2-door, 4-door doesn't make any difference to me. I jumped on this because it's a 2-door, but not because I'm particular towards 2 doors, but because it's significantly lighter. It's about 100 pounds lighter than a 4-door.
Mexican Spec says, Tony, was high output of the engine in the new X-Ray?
All of them, all of the 4.0 is from 91, I think. From 91 until 2001 are considered to be high output. And they put the high output badge on the back up until 96. When they redesigned them for 97, they not redesigned them, when they upgraded the cosmetics of it. They stopped putting those high output badges on it, but it's the same engine.
I don't think I've ever seen a 2-door like that one you have.
Yeah, they're not around. They're not around. That's why, yeah, it's rough in some areas, but man, you can't find it. That's a combination of stuff you just can't find.
Christopher G says, easily get that to 230 horsepower and plenty of torque.
So let's assume now, okay, because that's the number I'm thinking. I'm thinking I can get it to about 230, 235, which is the number that's in my head. So let's do that. Let's take 300 pounds off of it. okay? Because I feel I can get at least 300 pounds out of it without gutting it, right? Because I'm going to pull the AC off of it. So let's call it 3,000 pounds. Let's call it 3,000 pounds. At 3,000 pounds, with 235 flywheel horsepower, we're looking at exactly. All right. So, eighth mile 961, quarter mile 1415, at 101 miles an hour. Okay, but remember, this thing has a 3.83 first gear. Right? Do you guys have torque multiplication there? So it's calling this with a 212 60 foot. There's no way. If they're saying a 212 60 foot based on average numbers of an automatic transmission, I'm going to say it's a 198, 195 in that range, 60 foot at that horsepower level. So yeah, that's 14, 15. So if I get 300 pounds out of it and get the horsepower to 235, we're at 14, 15. That leaves us less than 2/10 from the goal of 1399. I think by the time we're done with this, and by the time we're done with this, probably before the end of the year, we're going to be deep in the 13s with it. And that's without getting inside the motor. That's without actually going in the motor and porting or doing anything like that.
How long will the clutch last on the track?
I don't know. I have no idea what condition it's in.
Christopher G says mid to low 14s.
Well, that's what the numbers bear out.
Joe K says, did you see Neutral Drop's latest video with that 79 Cutlass 442? And he called it 442 cubic inches.
No.
Let's see. Redneck Airflow says, plus the weight transfer of an SUV traction shouldn't be an issue like the old station wagons back in the day.
If I can get that thing to bite on the initial hook, right? If I could just get it to bite on the initial hook. On that particular vehicle, everything is going to be before it moves. Right? Everything is going to be before it moves. It's just how it sets the tire. Okay? If it sets the tire right, it'll start the weight transfer. It's got such a high center of gravity. It'll start the weight transfer and it'll plant and it'll hook and book.
Ree Riley says 13's easy. And then Spitfire Mike says 13's in the 8th.
Now, the other thing too, a lot of people confusing. So I've seen this come up in the comments a lot. A lot of people say, well, you know, they road tested this or road tested that, but it's always with a four-wheel drive. And the four-wheel drive, even when it's not engaged, it's huge parasitic losses because you turn in the axles, you turn in the differential, you spin in the differential through lube, you turn in the drive shaft, you turn in the transfer case. The transfer case is through lube. There's all of that parasitic loss through the drivetrain. Without even having it engaged, just leaving it in two-wheel drive. And the extra, I guess it's probably close to 200 pounds of rotational mass that has to get up to speed. So to compare what a four-wheel drive XJ versus what a two-wheel drive XJ you're going to do is apples and oranges. It might as well be two completely different vehicles.
Let's see. Rick S says, Tony, if I sand the head a bit for a head gasket replacement, do I need to worry getting sanding dust in the chambers or just do the cleaner?
Yeah, I do that all the time. Just after you're done, just take a squirt bottle, fill it with gasoline, and just wash it all out with gas. Don't worry about it, you'll be fine.
Territory says, Tony, if this XJ would have been carbureted, would you change carburetor or just tune by jetting it?
Okay, by the rules of Mission Impossible, okay? I'm going to apply the rules of Mission Impossible to this Jeep, right? Mission Improbable. I'm only going to work with direct replacement parts for a 1996 XJ. So yes, I know there are better injectors. Yes, I know there's a better intake manifold. Yes, I know there are bigger throttle bodies. Yes, I know all of these different things, but by the spirit of the rules, we're going to work only with the parts that it was born with or direct replacement parts of what it was born with. So
you might need to post the rules someplace.
I'm going to go over the rules. I'm going to go over the rules.
Post the rules someplace.
I'm gonna go over
So
it.
anybody can go to it and look it up and say, okay, this is the parameters that we're working with.
Right. So now,
Because people do get confused. They're like, what are you doing?
so let's hear. I'll give you examples of things that I don't know yet, right? But how we'll handle it. I don't know if it's an open or a short grip rear. So if it's open, I'll put a short grip in because the short grip was available in that year, in that car, in that year, and so that's not a problem. I don't know if 355s are available. I don't know if you could order it with 355s with the manual transmission that comes with 308 gears. If you could order it with 355s, I'll put the 355s in it. If you couldn't order it without 355s, then I'm going to stick with the 308. And honestly, I think the 308 might be a better choice just for traction overall. Let the torque multiplication be in the transmission. And you know what I'm saying? You don't want to overdo it with torque multiplication because the whole idea is to get this thing to set the tire and start rolling out hooked. You give it too much torque multiplication at the axle and you reduce your likelihood of being able to get a clean hook. So I may just stick with the 308 as it is. Whatever the stock tire size is, that's the limit. We're going to keep it with the stock tire size. That's going to be a DOT tire. 0 aftermarket parts, but exceptions would be things that can be fabricated. Okay, so like for instance, I'm going to make a cold air intake. I know there's a zillion cold air intakes available for it, but it's going to be one that we can make, not one that we can buy. So it's going to be all stuff like that. Does that make any sense?
Territory says, Tony, can you please post rules so we can play along with our cars?
Yes, I will. I will. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm going to do a video tomorrow. Okay, so this weekend I was supposed to be doing other things, but of course I had to at least hear this thing run. So I spent ridiculous hours going through this. Tomorrow I'm going to do a video on troubleshooting. I'll show you guys what I found because I know it'll be helpful for people who. This doesn't not just Jeeps; it just applies across the board. Mm-hmm. So I am going to do a troubleshooting and conclusion video tomorrow, which is one of the reasons I want to do this too, is because. So, since we started this channel, I'm a points and carburetor guy, and I am a points and carburetor guy. I live for points and carburetors. I love points and carburetors. But even if you're a points and carburetor guy, there are still fuel injected cars in your life. There's still computer controlled cars in your life. So you have to be able to work with those and understand them and tinker with them also. So one of the reasons why I like this Jeep is because it opens up that extra avenue. You know what I mean? Now we can start doing some modern car applicable stuff. Does that make any sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
JK says, here's a question to digest. Are there certain cars that would benefit more from this mission improbable type of build over others?
No, I think, okay, so you could take any car and optimize it, right? So here's an example of an optimized car, right? So like Bottle Rocket is a perfect example. Now take the engine out. Forget about what engine is in it. Forget about all of that stuff. But just the car itself. So the car is as optimized as it could possibly be, without being gutted, without being stripped. So that like when you open the door, and it's got a bench seat in there, it's got the regular dashboard, it's got the stock steering wheel. So when you open the door, you get the impression of, oh, it's just a stock car. If you look closely, you see, well, it doesn't have rugs on the floor. The floor is painted. You know what I mean? It doesn't have a back seat, but the back area is painted and everything, so it looks like a complete interior. So you got that illusion, right? It's optimized. Anything that doesn't have to come along for the ride isn't going along for the ride. It had disc brakes. I converted it to drum brakes. Drum brakes have less parasitic drag, and they weigh 40 pounds lighter when you take all of the hardware into the equation. So I converted to drum brakes, and like even that, it's got very light grease in the bearings. The bearing adjust, the nut is just turned just so that there's no resistance, but there's no play either. It's like I went through that car from bumper to bumper, and if a bolt didn't have to come for a ride, if this was a rough edge. It's all been optimized from one end to the other. So you could take a stock engine, you take a dead stock engine and drop it in that car, and it would probably run pretty freaking good. It's 800 pounds lighter than we started out. We weighed the car. It was 82, whatever it was. It was over 8,000 pounds. 8,000 pounds. I'm sorry. It was over 3,800 pounds.
8,000 pounds. That's a lot.
Yeah, the record was 8,800.
Yeah.
Battle Rocket started out at 3,800 and change, and in the last weigh-in, it was 29. Was it 2940? I don't remember. It was either 2904 or 2940. I don't remember. But that car with 2 gallons of gas in it, sitting on the starting line, right, is 2,900 and change pounds. We lost 800 or 900 pounds out of that car, and it looks like a complete stock car.
Territory says, Tony, if I understand correctly, my Land Rover 4-cylinder can have the 4-cylinder petrol cam with a Land Rover part number diesel cam for a little more power. Is that within parameters?
Read that one more time now.
If I understand correctly, the rules.
Yes.
A Land Rover 4-cylinder can have the 4-cylinder petrol cam with a Land Rover part numbered diesel cam for a little more power. Is that within parameters?
That's like a gray area. I don't know. I would say no.
Hey, stop.
It would have to have the right part number. Okay, there you go. Okay, there's the rules, right? I'm making this up as we go along. It has to have the right part number. So what, like for instance, like right away, people are like, well, you're gonna do the 5.2, throw the 4 liter, throw the stroker crank in there, so you get it through Rock Auto. But it's not the right part number. It wasn't available in that year, in that model, so it's not the right part number. So basically, we're gonna take the concept of stock eliminator and go pure stock. Well, there was a class called pure stock, and my Mustang was set up to race in pure stock.
So, well, there you go. Those are the rules.
Those are the rules. Yeah. It has to be, the part number has to match that year, that vehicle.
Dean Stevenson says we could put the back axle on the front.
Yes, Dean.
Sure.
We could.
Let's see. Liars. Okay.
Yes.
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 What do you want to lie about?
I'll lie about everything. Let's go.
Okay, let's lie about everything. Let's see. So basically, like fast class cars, well, the slower class.
Yeah, more or less. More or less, yes.
And a lot cheaper.
And a lot cheaper.
Right.
Although, you can get carried away with this stuff too.
I'm sure.
You can get carried away with this stuff too. I'm going to keep it in the spirit of, so, somebody asked me the other day, they were like, and I think they were hinting that they wanted to give me a dyno. And they were like, would you take a dyno if somebody was to, give you a dyno and set it up,
right
and probably. And I says, no, if I wanted a dyno, I'd have a dyno, and I have strong enough numbers that I could get a dyno for cost or even free.
Reasonable price.
Reasonable, right. And if I wanted one, I would have one. But I don't have one because my viewers don't have one. And that was one of the places where Mission Impossible kind of went into an area that I wasn't really crazy about. Because, and I'm not taking anything away from Charles Savidio, right? I've seen his, what? Don't worry, guys.
No, nothing.
I'm not taking anything away from Charles Savidio.
Nice.
I've seen several of his videos. The guy he's really good at what he does. But that's out of the spirit of what I originally intended. It was supposed to be, we were going to put our heads together. You know what I mean? And they got a basic flow bench over there. It's nothing really crazy. And all right, fine, flow bench it, right? But the idea was, to not get too sophisticated, not throw too much science in it, and keep it within the realm of what the average person can duplicate at home, not necessarily with a 318. So that was one of the things. It became a 318 build, okay? But it was never supposed to be a 318 build. The 318 was supposed to be just a representative engine. It could have been a 302 Ford. It could have been a 360 AMC. It could have been an International Harvester. It could have been a Briggs and freaking Stratton, okay? Didn't make any difference. The idea was to just take this engine and optimize the parts that are there. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? I hope I'm not the only one that sees this. Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe me and Dean Stevenson got to get together and just start our own thing, okay? Maybe I'm freaking crazy. But the whole goal of this was just to take this engine, not that engine and that engine and that engine, and combine them. Take this engine and only working with those parts, make it the best it can be. That's it. And then, of course, you have to have a goal, okay? Because every story has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So the end is your goal. You can't just do this and not have a goal. Remember, we tell stories here. That's what we do. Every video is a story. Every series is a story. So it has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So the beginning is, here's the concept. The middle is, here's what we do. The goal is, this is what we're going to attempt to do. Did we make it? Yes. Did we not make it? Yes. It doesn't matter. It's an experiment, and this is the goal we were shooting for. So we were shooting for 1 horsepower per cubic inch. That's a pretty reasonable goal. Okay, that's not pie in the sky. It can be done. But the idea was not to take a bunch of different parts from a bunch of different engines and mix and match them, or aftermarket parts because they're better. That has nothing to do with it. The idea is to take this engine and make this engine the best it can possibly be, right? Using the parts that are in it, right? So you're going to get a crank cut, okay? So you're going to get normal machine work. You're going to get a crank cut. So you get the crank cut 30 thousandths because 30 thousandths bearings are available for it, and you have an offset ground. So there's compression height, okay? You're going to have the block surfaced as just part of a normal thing. So you take 20 off the deck. You know, you're going to do the head, same thing. You take 20 off the head. All right, so fine. Now your push rods are an issue. No problem. You go to Mancini, just shim it. You shim the rockers. Or what I've done countless times, and never, ever had a problem, especially with Mopars, because Mopars don't oil through the push rods, is you take the push rod and you bring it to your bench grinder and you shorten it up a little bit. You turn it, you make it nice and round, and you put the part that you ground, you put that down in the lifter part, because the lifter part is hardened and it'll never wear through the push rod cup. And so you could shorten your push rods 100 thousandths of an inch, 150 thousandths of an inch. You will never hurt it. Grind it, get it to the length that you want, polish it nice, and then put that end down into the lifter cup. No problem. Free. You don't have to go for aftermarket push rods or anything like that. There's a zillion ways you can refine an engine. Reversing the pistons. Okay, same exact thing as putting the crank in, offset, right? Minor cleanup porting. Not to make them bigger. You don't want to make them bigger. See, that's the other problem too, okay? That's where you run into issues. So, okay, think about this for a second now. You take a solenoid, you take this 318 solenoid, and you say, all right, we need to port this thing, and we're going to do it on a flow bench. We're going to get as much CFM as we could possibly get, right? No, you don't do that with an engine like this, because you're using a stock cam. You're using a small intake. Everything is restrictive along the way. If you go with a big port, now you've got a stagnant deal. You lose your velocity, right? You want to have a smooth port. You want to have everything just to make sure you want a cohesive mixture in and out with as much velocity as possible. You don't want to just go for maximum numbers. If you just go for maximum numbers, you're making it harder for yourself. Now you have to upscale everything around the engine to match the flow capacity of the heads to get your maximum output. And of course, you're raising the RPM range of the engine, which means your valve springs and it's a whole bag of shit that you open up once you start going high science with these things. I'm rambling on.
No, it makes sense to me. It's
Does
just
it make
not a
sense to you?
cohesive package anymore once they start to work on it.
Right.
Right. Because
So
everything affects everything
Yes.
else. Yeah, you can't just work on one thing and make that crazy and then just kind of leave everything else the way it is. It's
exactly.
pretty
Exactly. You
simple.
got to find deficiencies all the way down the
Right.
line.
Yeah, it has to work together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 There's a zillion things, you know. Go 10 over. Loose engine makes power. Go 10 over on the bore, right? That cleans up whatever you got there. Go 10 over. You put a set of 10 over rings in it. You put the stock pistons. You're fine. You're fine. Now you got nice round bores. The thing will seal, right? And it's nice, it's loose, it's happy. It'll make power.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I know. But things just get complicated. It's human nature, I guess, to make things more
Yes.
complicated than they need to be.
It is. It
Questions?
is. Questions, anyone? Let's see. Hoobie's Garage.
Hey, Ruby.
Is that the Winged Express in the background? Jim
Yes.
Boyd and Mousy Marcellus lived in my town, so they are both gone now. Sad they were both
I
gone.
know. Yeah, I talked to Mousy several times. I never got the pleasure of meeting Mike Boyd, but no, that's an old one. That's actually the Wild Willie.
Regrind the cam yourself.
So, when I was a kid, Barry Petard, the Mutt Brothers, was like, I looked up to that guy, you have no idea. And he would always talk about how my generation, where we were a bunch of assholes because we had to buy stuff, we couldn't make stuff. And he would tell, back in the day, when they needed to change their camshaft, they needed a camshaft, they ground their own stuff. They turned down the base circle, they vaulted the ramps. There's a bunch of black guys working in the projects in New York, right? And this is the kind of stuff that they were doing. And they were winning, they were making power, they were winning races, right? Regrinding stuff themselves, hardening things themselves, polishing. Right? This was pure brilliance, pure science. And that left a big impression on me. You know what I mean? It was like, you really want a hot rod? Make the shit yourself.
Nobody does that anymore.
I know
Nobody
that.
has time to do that.
I know that. And I'm guilty of it myself. I don't do it as much as I would like to.
Wife moves a lot faster now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Redneck Airflow. Do you ever go to George Ray's Wildcat Drag Strip in Paragould, Arkansas?
I've never been there.
That place has some cool history.
I've never been there.
Anthony Janot. I'm sorry if I killed your last name. You need to write the principles of hot rodding combustion engines.
No.
No?
No, we'll leave that to scholars. I'm not a scholar.
Right. You just have funny little things that you follow.
Yes.
Yeah. You have quirks.
I have my quirks.
Tony's quirks. You could write that. That would be allowed. Tony's hot
quirks.
rod quirks. Uncle Tony, have you ever raced on a motorcycle?
Street raced, yes, but no. I don't think have I ever taken a motorcycle down a drag strip?
No.
I don't think I've ever ridden a motorcycle down a drag strip.
Yeah.
Street raced them, yeah, but never went, that's weird. It just occurred to me. I was thinking I'm 61 and I'm going to be 62 years old. I've never taken a motorcycle down a drag strip.
Let's see.
It's
if
impossible.
you only reduce the base circle, rehardening is not needed.
Yeah. But they would do it anyway. They'd quench it just for good measure.
Burt Monroe casting his own pistons comes to mind, the fastest Indian.
Mm-hmm. Nobody will ever. So here's the thing, right? Listen, nobody will ever remember the guy who spent the most money. Okay, he will fade off into oblivion. Right? No folk tales will ever be told about the guy who spent the most money. But people like Burt Monroe, Smokey Yunick, okay, people who didn't spend money, didn't have money, right, but innovated and the underdog, right? Those are the people that legends are made of. So, think about it that way.
Let's see. Tony, I have a 1981 book by David Bizarre, Performance with Economy. You need to rewrite that book using only stock parts, Tavo says.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that book. Not for nothing, okay? Seriously, right? To that, it just dawned on me, okay? It just dawned on me. To that point that I was just making, okay? So, there's Wild Willie Bosch, right? It ran in a series of obscure classes, right? Was never a world champion of anything, right? He ran circuits, he ran match races, he ran all sorts of stuff like that. And then the odd national event like the U.S. Nationals and stuff, maybe go for a class one. But he was never a professional racer. He was a sportsman racer. Okay, everybody remembers Wild Willie Bosch. And then you turn the camera a little bit over there.
Don't look at the T-shirt mess I
Yeah.
got.
And there's Jungle Jim Lieberman. Okay, so Jungle Jim Lieberman won one national event in his entire career. Right, the 1975 Summer Nationals. One national event in his entire career, right? Now, do you know who the world champion in funny car was in 1975? Yeah, I don't remember, okay? 76 was Prudhomme. I don't remember who was in 75, right? Do you remember who won the world championship in 1973, 77? No, they're completely, who the hell knows who they are, right? Everybody knows who Jungle Jim was, right? He was an independent racer. He had some sponsorships and stuff like that, but the bottom line was that he didn't have to win to become a legend. He just had to be him. You see what I'm saying? Nobody will ever remember the guy who spends the most. They remember the guys with the most heart, with the most creativity, that overcome the most challenges. You see what I'm saying? That's who people remember.
No one ever wrote a book about people playing it safe.
Yep.
He had Uncle Pam, though. That's true.
Yeah. That's part of it. That's all part of it.
Everyone knows John Force, not because he wins, but because he is insane. Thumb for the sweet fat guy.
He's not really insane.
Yeah.
He's actually pretty smart. You see him on the TV and he's all like, he's all hyped up and shit. He's not like that regular. The adrenaline goes away and he's regular people.
So that's that, right? You're going to put your list up? What is it, Pure Stock? IHRA Pure Stock? Is that what it is?
I'm still sick about that.
You're sick about it, I know. Let's see. Tony should write a book on how racers used to cheat. Scarlet Fire. Tony, your stock concept ideas are exactly why BW Beetle Stock Class 11 are remembered over the trophy class racers. Yes?
Yep.
Got quiet, Tony.
Look at the glory days of NASCAR, right? Absolutely nobody knows anything that happens in the modern era, right? Zero, okay? I have no idea who any of those guys are. For a while, it was interesting with Dale Earnhardt, okay? But when you look at NASCAR, you look at NASCAR's glory days, and it was when they were running real stock cars with built off of real stock chassis with production engines. You know what I'm saying? Right? That's when people remember this stuff, not when they went to crazy exotic over the top. People remember Indy, okay, when it was like, the all-American thing in the 1960s, 40s, 50s, 60s, into the 70s. Because it was like a bunch of, the dirt farmer from whatever is, from Oklahoma is going to qualify his, doohickey special, right? And people were glued to this stuff. You had real American heroes built during that period of time. And then it became like international and like a Formula One light. And it's like, nobody gives a shit. They run the Indy 500 every year. People go there because I'm supposed to like this. I'm supposed to go see this, right? but it has no social impact anymore. You look at all of these things that's straight from their roots, and even drag racing is a perfect example of that, right? When you look at drag racing when it was in its glory days, okay, it was like these guys were literally, you know, the house painter from New Jersey versus, you know, the auto parts salesman from Oklahoma, okay, and these were the professionals, and it was drag racing for a period of time was the #1 spectator sport in America. Hard to believe, right? But at one point, 1970, 1969, 1970, 1971, drag racing was the #1 spectator sport in America. More people went to see drag racing than they saw football, baseball, hockey, any of those things, right? More people went, yeah. More people, there were more tickets sold, there were more admissions to drag racing events across the country than any other sport there was. And where is it today? It's like, who even knows who these freaking people are? Drag racing was at its peak when it was regular guys that worked regular jobs who were, you know, out there running for a Top Fuel eliminator or a Funny Car eliminator. Professionalism sucked all of the life out of the sport.
What do you mean the sponsors? The sponsors?
Well, the two go hand in hand, you know. And unfortunately, I was right there during that transition period. You know what I mean? I grew up wanting to do it when it was like regular people doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then by the time I got involved, it was like all of this corporate cash just came in like nobody's freaking business, and it was over.
When Nickerson says big money pushes the little guy out.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Toward the last couple of years that I was involved in it, right, I actually hated going to the track. I loved working with the stuff. You know what I mean? You know, at that time it's like it's all about fuel pumps and clutches and just the science of it, right? I loved the science of it. I loved tweaking with the parts and thinking things, brainstorming stuff. Okay, but actually going to the track was like, I'm not having a good time. I don't like this anymore.
Jordan Koch sent you a super chat. It says, yo, good evening.
Yo.
Good evening, Jordan.
Good evening.
Thank
you for the super chat.
Let's see. Pro Needle Pints was happening in the 50s. I don't know what that means.
What was that?
Pro Needle Pint was happening in the 50s.
I have no idea what that means.
I don't know what that means either. Haven't seen any not financial advice yet tonight. I don't have any.
Yeah.
None. Let's see. James N. When you were in New York, did you ever meet Richie Evans or any of the Roundy Round guys? I know they were in Western New York, though. Awesome underdog racer.
No, I was in New York City, and I had tunnel vision for drag racing.
Let's see. Tony, you ever get into tether cars?
No. I never really got into like, you know, I'm like a what's the word I'm looking for? I'm like a hardcore realist. You know, if it's not the real thing, doing the real thing, I'm just not interested.
Tony, any advice on moving to Tennessee? Hoopy's Garage.
Come on down, bro.
Contact Uncle Crystal. She'll help you find a place. If
you're considering Middle Tennessee, right? Throw Kathy a message, throw an email, and I'll be happy to give you a tour of the area. I'll show you around and show you the different lay of the land and the different areas here.
Now everybody's gonna want to come to Tennessee to have you give them a tour.
Well, he's a YouTuber. And he's considering moving to Tennessee.
It's funny. There's room in Tennessee. Tony's moving to Florida.
Listen, this is a YouTuber mecca. Okay, it's becoming a YouTuber mecca.
But they don't talk to each other. So
no, nobody talks to each other. Nobody talks to each other, and you know I'm good with that, right? I'm good with that. But that's besides the point. You know, you got Vice Grip 40 miles down the road over here. You got.
Does that include dinner too? Probably.
You got Whistle and Diesel 20 miles down the road over here. You got Sean from Bikes and Beards moved to Columbia, so he's over there.
UTG tours, yeah.
No, seriously, there's like I can't even think of all of the channels that are in this area, but this is a cluster of automotive. You're
probably about to get 5,000 emails about tours now. Uncle Crystal can take you. Crystal DeFeo at Keller Williams, Murfreesboro. Contact her.
The only thing I can tell you, Hoovie, if you're considering, okay, just keep this in mind. East Tennessee, Knoxville, Middle Tennessee, Nashville, and West Tennessee, Memphis, are 3 completely different places. So we really should be 3 different states. Mm-hmm. So the part that I'm in is in Middle Tennessee. I'm just south of Nashville. So Middle Tennessee would be Clarksville up north, Nashville in the middle, and Chattanooga to the south. That's Middle Tennessee.
Contact Crystal DeFeo.
Yes, contact
Keller
Crystal.
Williams.
Uncle Crystal. She'll hook you up.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You have the Holy Trinity, UTG, and Dr. Art Van Nickerson.
Oh, we got Dylan McCool. Dylan McCool's down in Fayetteville. He's about 40 miles south. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's more.
Oh, I know there's more. I just can't think of them off the top of my head.
Let's see. Central Time Zone, yes. Crystal about to be busy. Good. She needs to be busy. And if you're not coming here, she can always recommend you somebody where you want to go. Let's see. She's very professional.
Yes.
She's very good at what she does.
She's the best at what she does.
She is. Thank you. It is a YouTube mecca for garage channels. I have a girlfriend in Silioka. I don't know how to say that.
Silioka, yeah.
So it may work out. I'm leaning towards Eastern Tennessee, thinking less tornadoes. I can reach out to UK. Okay. Eastern Tennessee is less tornadoes?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. But they get colder winters.
What kind of work does your shop do? None. You don't have a shop.
Who, me?
Yeah, what kind of work does your shop do? No,
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. No, it's not a shop like for customers.
I don't do customer work.
Yeah. Just YouTube. Scotty Kilmer is retired, is he? Did he retire?
Scotty Kilmer, well, he was in a couple places, but Scotty Kilmer moved to Clarksville.
Yeah, and then he moved, I think, to Rhode Island or something.
I think he bounces back and forth between the 2.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Moving into an RV, you can skirt fit. Don't live in an RV. No, don't do that unless it's absolutely necessary. Scotty the King. I don't know. Quit growling. Stop growling. Let's see. No, there's no encampments in Tennessee.
There's no what?
Like homeless people encampments in Tennessee. Well, not where we are.
I'm sure there are somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some, but like there's not like a lot like. It's not like California.
No.
Yeah, no, it's not like that.
No, we have the random homeless people holding signs, standing next to the highway.
Like, that's
please
everywhere.
help. And they're all professionals. They're professional friggin' homeless people. You see them year after year after year after year after year. They're professionals.
What are you gonna do? Thumper says, how well would a 1971 413 hold up to 10 psi?
Fine. Like, forever.
Yeah.
Forever. But that year 413 is going to have the truck heads. So that's going to have like an angle plug, peanut plug head. That there's very different. There's no real car application for that. I don't. Well, okay, I could be wrong. There might have been 413s built in the motorhome 413s. Some of them might have been with the conventional Sonatas.
So yeah. Truck heads, he says.
Yeah, that's an orphan, man. The bottom end is great, but just take everything off the top and scrap it. There's really no use for it.
We almost bought a trap code, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm glad we
Something
didn't do.
that? Yeah. If we traveled a lot.
Yeah.
But we don't. What Tony is saying is to move to Tennessee and you have a great opportunity in homelessness. And it's not saying that at all.
No, there's no homeless here.
Right.
I mean, I say there's no homeless here. There's nothing like you have like on the West Coast or you know, we don't have the immigrants here. I mean, there might be a couple of them, but this is the kind of place where they'll just get absorbed and get jobs. It's like there's so many jobs here. It's ridiculous.
It doesn't matter how bad the 413 heads flow. Just throw more boost at it. Boost doesn't
No,
matter.
flow has nothing to do with it. It's the fact that it uses a whole different water pump assembly, right? It's this big monstrosity that feeds off the front of the cylinder heads. It uses the exhaust manifolds. There's like there's no header application for it. There's no headers that'll fit it. And the exhaust manifolds are like big log truck manifolds that won't really fit conveniently into a car. It has nothing to do with flow. Flow is, I have no idea if the heads flow good or not, but everything around them is motorhomes, truck, industrial.
Yeah.
The bottom end is just a small bore 440.
Let's see. What's the difference between... Oh no, I can't read that. That's off topic.
What is it?
No, I can't read. Let's talk about cars and car things.
Okay.
I can't answer. No, let's talk about car things. Okay.
What's the topic?
No.
The general topic. You don't have to read the question.
Update on Mopar project with David Vizard. Do you have an update on that?
Go watch Andy's channel.
Go Google it.
Watch Andy's channel. He's explained their perspective and what they're doing with it. I have no idea. I look. I'm not going to pretend I understand it. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, the same way if Andy called me right now, I would tell him the same thing I'm saying right now, and it's just like I can't even pretend I understand what you guys are doing. But you know what you're doing, so go for it.
Yeah. Let's see. Extra plenum volume requires extra accelerator pump shot. That's a car thing.
Yes, that is true.
Let's see. I picked up a 409 Biscayne. Tempted to make a strip car. Lost cadaver.
Oh, no, man. Don't make that a strip car.
No?
No. It's a legit 409 Biscayne? No. I mean, do some day 2 mods to it, you know what I mean? You know, period wheels, headers, that sort of stuff, but don't make a drag car out of it.
Let's see. Holy Car Mod says, hey Tony, I'm looking at a 1956 Hemi engines. It is locked up from what I was told, and it's been sitting. Is it worth anything?
Well, it depends what it is. If it's a Chrysler, it's a 354. If it's a DeSoto, it's a tall deck DeSoto. If it's Dodge, I don't even know what it is. It could be a Chrysler, a DeSoto, or a Dodge. I don't know. I've been seeing like Chryslers pop up in like the $1,500 range. 331s and 354s. 392 has always been a couple of dollars more. You could probably get a good 392 core for $3,500, $3,500. There's a guy who's selling. There's some really cheap DeSoto stuff locally. There's like a complete motor, right? Clean, looks really nice, like $1,000. There's another guy who's selling everything but the block. So he's got the heads, the rockers, the crank, the rods, the pistons, he's got everything but the block for $200. So yeah, they're not worth a lot of money, but they have that novelty effect. I mean, it's a freaking Hemi. You know what I mean? It's like.
Tommy says, big fan, Tony. God bless and keep it up.
Thank you.
That's nice. It's always nice to see a nice
Yes.
comment.
As opposed to,
Right?
he's a hat.
It's a Jeep channel now.
It's a cheap channel.
Have you guys been to Coney Island? Have you been to Coney Island, Tony?
Not in
Not in a
when
while.
I was a baby, I was there every day.
Right. Steeplechase. That's where they used to take you, right?
Yeah. And I rode the Cyclone one day so many times I literally got whacked. after about the 10th time around on the Cyclone, your brain would start to get all crazy and shit.
I did that at Great Adventure on Rolling Thunder.
No, there's nothing like the Cyclone. No, I'm sorry.
I've never been on the Cyclone.
The Cyclone was crazy. I mean, is it even still there?
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was all creaky. You know, it's wood.
Yeah.
You know, so you go on a turn, you feel the whole. It sounds like a medieval torture device as you're.
Great.
Yeah, if you were to cross a runaway coal train with a medieval torture device.
That's the Cyclone.
That's the Cyclone. It was great. It was great. But I mean, I haven't been there, and I haven't been there since probably the 70s.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Okay, let's see. Joe and Nemo's hot dogs. Dogs, yeah, hot dogs. Archer's Garage, the same age, grew up on Long Island, no more racetracks.
No.
What?
No, somebody sent me something that they're opening one on one.
Isn't Long Island Dragway still open?
No, it was Gary Chimeri's place. No, that closed years and years ago.
It did it?
Yeah.
So
That was West Hampton.
what's open?
That was we crashed the Top Fuel over there.
But there's something open over there. There's something open. I see it all the time. They're talking about it.
Well, they're opening a track there.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if it's a track, or it's like an airfield that they're using on one of the runways or something. I'm not sure exactly, but there is something happening in Long Island. If anybody knows
He
about
says
it.
the Cowichan Grumman facility has some racing.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the future of drag racing, honestly. I think in like, I want to say like 10 to 15 years time, you're not going to find drag strips the way they exist today. You're gonna find like a lot of impromptu things. You're gonna have, you know, cities that allow in industrial parks and airfields, airstrips. Like basically the no prep scene. You know what I mean? The grassroots no prep scene. I think that's the whole future of drag racing.
Could be.
Well, the thing is, as an official sport, okay, to try to run it as a business, the insurance costs
it's gonna be ridiculous.
off the chain,
Property
right?
taxes.
Property taxes, electricity. I remember Vinny was telling me in English Town, it cost to put the lights on. This was unimaginable, okay? Because I was bitching. We got, he would always book us into stuff, right? And we would always try to get some more money out of him. And he was like, you know, well, you know, we got to pay this guy $20,000. We got to pay that guy $15,000. You know, we just don't have the money left over. I'm like, Vinny, you packing this place. And he says, do you know what my electric bill is here? Do you know what it cost me to put on the lights for a Wednesday night show? And this is back in the 90s, okay? $20,000 fucking dollars. It cost him 20 grand in electric to light that place up for one night. So that was way back then. So running a drag strip as a business is crazy. So I think in the future you're going to see much more informal stuff. That's going to become the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah.
Which I'm all for.
Yeah. Jeff Hutchins says the future of drag racing is obviously the exchange. Obviously. Oh, okay. How long you gonna go?
However long. You tired?
I
You ready to punk out?
I keep yawning.
I still have 2 fortune cookies left.
Oh, we better eat them. No wonder they jumped ship when offered big bucks from a real estate developer.
Yeah, that too. It's a labor of love. You own a drag strip. It's a labor of love.
There's already a lot of half-mile and mile events that take place at airport runways. Street bullets.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wildfly says, hey Tony, there's a guy in Canada building a diesel electric truck kit locomotive style.
Yeah. I'm familiar.
Electric axles.
Edison
looks
Motors,
promising. Du Bois Garage is doing it.
Yeah. I'm familiar with it.
Are there Chinese restaurants in Tennessee? No, we all walk around without shoes. Nobody has any teeth.
We have Chinese buffets everywhere.
We only pretend we have shoes. Tony's like the only person that has shoes in Tennessee.
That's right.
Just so we can make videos.
We have Chinese buffets everywhere. Today we ate at a Mexican buffet. This is Nashville. The Nashville area is a foodie mecca. I mean, we're in the suburbs here. We're in Murfreesboro, but yeah, we got killer Indian places. We got you go up to like the outskirts of the city, and there's, you name it. There's Vietnamese, there's Indonesian, there's Korean, there's every type of food you can imagine. We have here. There's more food. There's a bigger variety of food here than you have in New York City.
Tony DeFeo for president 2024, making stock car racing fun again.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But first, I got to straighten out the rest of the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don't even bother.
It's a
with
clusterfuck.
that.
I got to straighten everybody
with
out.
that. Seriously. Hicks, you met? Are there Hicks here?
Sure, we got Hicks too.
Yeah.
We have both ends, right? We
So
got
they
both
have
ends.
stucco in Tennessee. Not really.
No,
Not really.
no.
I don't know. Like, we live in a kind of busy city. A lot of traffic.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of people here.
25 miles north of us, okay? And like Led Zeppelin lives here. You know what I'm saying? Put that in perspective. And
Yeah, Franklin at the farmer's market. What's his name?
Nicole Kidman
No, the guy
and
from
all
Led
these-
Zeppelin, the singer. What's his name?
Plant.
Yeah, they take his picture at the farmer's market.
Yeah. It's just
so
it's just the
weird.
normal. Yeah, it's just a
very
normal thing here.
strange.
And then you go 25 miles south of us, and there's the wilderness. You know what I mean? And moonshine and everything else. This is a great place. This is like a total melting pot.
UTG, no shoes, no pants, no service. Yeah.
Seriously.
Hayseeds? Not
Not here.
so much in the city. No, not where we are.
But just south of
Outside.
us.
Yeah, outside. But I mean, that's everywhere.
This is a melting pot. Like I said, 25 miles north of us, you could have literally a world-class gourmet meal, and then you go 25 miles south of us, and there's roadside barbecue places. So it's like, what do you want? You've got both.
Let's see. Ever seen a Sasquatch?
No.
Wildfly says, I remember reading an article where a Nordic guy made a Caddy 500 with 468 rocker solenoids. It was neat.
Oh. I'm not familiar with it. I'm familiar with the 468, but
Are there, let's see, Bluegrass, AC/DC, Hayseeds, Dixie? I don't know. We don't know. I don't know. Is Corky Coker in Tennessee? I don't know. Who's that?
so okay. Now this I was promoting shows for a while. It was maybe 15 years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago. So by breakdown, okay, of music type, the number one music, right? So most venues, right? Most events in Nashville is gospel. Number two is rock. Number three is country. People always think, oh, Nashville, it's the country music
It's
mecca.
just the touristy.
It's just
things.
the country music part of Nashville is like, I can explain it to you. It's tiny. Well, I'll tell you, all right, the country music part of Nashville is pretty much the same as Beverly Hills. Okay, so in other words, like you go to Hollywood. They say Beverly Hills is Hollywood. So if you go to California and you say this is Hollywood, and it's just this tiny little thing, right? Well, it's the same thing with the country music portion of Nashville. It's just this tiny little area with a lot of really historic places, but the rest of it is wide open. There's all kinds of stuff that happens over here.
Have you ever thought of traveling to Australia and sharing some of your wisdom down under?
No, I can share it just
You won't
here.
get on a plane.
I'm working on a plane. I don't fly.
No, that's a no.
That's a hard no. But I don't have to. See, thanks to the magic of the internet, I don't have to go there. I can just sit right here.
It's magical, isn't it? Let's see. They're talking to each other. Everybody's talking to each other.
Yeah, so
Still
beautiful.
talking to each other. Caddy 500 rated at 550 torque. I don't know. I think they're talking to each other.
Yeah.
Elvis? No, that's Vegas.
No, Elvis was Memphis.
Memphis, yeah.
Right.
I don't think that his house is very nice. Somebody went there and I was like, it's not that nice.
I remember the first time I went to Graceland.
Yeah.
This was probably over 20 years ago. I was through here for something else before I lived here, and I was in Memphis, and I saw this. I was on my way to pick something up or drop something off, whatever it was, and I see the sign for Graceland, and I was like, I gotta see that. I gotta see what that is, right? So I Graceland. So I followed the signs, and I ended up in this really seedy neighborhood, like really, really super seedy neighborhood, and Graceland was just kind of like. I saw it once, okay, so I'm just going by my memory, and it's just like this seedy neighborhood with random things, a store here and a burnout house there, and a slummy type of thing there, and then there's this big house, not huge, but just a big house with a plane on the lawn. It was like an airplane on the lawn. That's what I remember from that. My memory could be skewed, but I remember saying to myself, yeah, I'm not going to park here and walk over to it. So yeah, and I kept going.
Brian Lewis sent your super chat.
Thank you.
Hi Tony, I bought a new toy today. 2000 S10 with 4-cylinder. It has 283,000 miles. What do you think will go first? Laugh out loud.
They're pretty rugged, man. Those are pretty rugged. Those are great trucks. I don't know if it was well cared for. You probably got another 150,000 miles to go on that thing before anything goes out. Hey, stop with the growling. Do not growl at your mom.
She's too fat for her. They're growling over bone. That's what that is. Let's see. Tony, why didn't you design the shop with a side overhang for another vehicle?
Design the shop?
Yeah.
We just added on to the back of it.
Yeah.
You mean why did I put a pole barn sort of thing off to the side? I guess I could at some point, but don't really feel the need for it.
That was Winnie growling. So Maggie had a bone, and Winnie took the bone. And once Winnie took the bone, Maggie looked at her and then she growled. She wasn't giving up. Tony volunteers himself on the no-fly list.
Yeah, no
he
fly.
doesn't fly.
I do not fly. I did. I used to. It's not like I have an irrational fear of flying that I never got on a plane. I used to fly often. And every time I ever got on a plane, I says, this is the last time I ever do this, and finally it was the last time I ever did it. And I have not been back since.
So he's pretending she has glass packs. Funny. Okay, so I think our time is almost up. Does Winnie still pick up Maggie? Winnie doesn't pick her up.
It doesn't pick her up. She drags
her
her around by
the
the neck.
Oh, did you tell them about Winnie?
Oh, you tell them. Go ahead.
That she got her first title?
Winnie got, where is it?
It didn't come in the mail yet.
What's that right there in the frame?
Oh, that's just for her class that she finished.
Oh,
But,
okay.
Yeah, we're waiting for her title.
Winnie
And
got her
ribbons
first.
come in the mail. Her rosette.
Yes.
She got her Trick Dog Novice title.
Yep, she's 9 months old, and she's already
8 months old.
8 months. Oh, she's only 8 months old, and she's already bringing them home.
Yep, she's got it. Got a rosette coming. Yep. So, pretty good. She'll be in video soon with you.
That's right.
Bringing you stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna train her to do all kinds of auto tricks.
What kind of tricks?
Car tricks.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna teach her how to drive. I bet she can
She's
drive.
learning how to do a lot of tricks. Next stop.
She can't reach the pedals, but I bet
No.
we can teach her how to steer.
Yeah, we can do something. Nick Breen says, woohoo, congrats to Winnie. You guys rock. Thanks for your time. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. And Winnie thanks you.
Yeah. Yeah, she's really good.
When she's
And
Good.
she's being good.
She's in like this stage.
We work a lot together. When you burn out, yeah.
She's a little difficult at times.
Yeah. She wears me out.
But she's
Winnie
worth she's worth every bit of it.
Winnie for the win, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll show you her rosette when it comes in the
Yeah.
mail. And her title. She'll have more titles soon. A couple months.
She'll have all the titles.
Well, yeah, that's what we're going for.
Yes.
We're going for all the titles.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
I think so. New T-shirt, internal combustion. My dog pees standing up. What? What?
I would make a viral TikTok video for sure, but yeah, I don't really see it as a T-shirt.
What did Maggie want? Maggie has issues and she can't go to class. Otherwise, I would have taken her along. I tried to take her actually a long time ago, and we had to leave.
Maggie has
Because
severe behavioral issues.
Yeah, she's reactive. So if you take her out and she sees somebody, she screams and goes crazy and
She's
on a leash and
Maggie is super
really
hyper
bad.
ultra protective
Yeah.
of everything.
Yeah.
So the property.
anybody walks by
Winnie,
the house, we
anybody,
know.
yeah. She's hyper
She's very
protective.
vigilant.
Yes.
And we
So-
love her for that.
Yes.
But it stops her from like
It stops her from
dog
being
events,
able to do a
yeah,
lot of
and
things.
going anywhere. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of bad. But, ciao.
You'd never know by looking at her. She looks
Yeah,
like
she
a freaking
looks-
toy.
Right. She's not.
She looks like a stuffed
intense.
animal.
All right. So you ready?
Yes.
We're ready.
Let us do this. Let us end tonight.
All right.
All right. Our mods.
Mm-hmm.
Mexican Spec, Fubar Zero. I didn't see Ari, but he might be around. Thank you guys as always. Everybody contributed super chat. Thank you so much. It pays for all of the shit the dog eats around the house. It pays for
We
the
have to
stairs I
replace
gotta
the
replace,
chair.
the molding I replace. This is the second or third chair she's
This
eaten.
is the second chair
Right?
that she's eating.
Some merch. She eats a lot of merch. So your super chat is all going just to replenish the stuff that my puppy eats.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Everybody who contributed with just your presence and your conversation, we thank you equally. I think that's it, right? Tomorrow I'm going to do a video explaining why I got myself sidetracked into the, oh please, I've really
He's
gone,
explaining your ADD.
oh please, I've really gone off the rails here.
People are like, we don't want you to watch your ADD. Not everybody has ADD, you know.
Well, you know what, just laugh along with me, okay? Just use me as an example of what not to do. I'm fine with that.
This is how you don't run a YouTube channel.
You know, they can love you or they can laugh at you. It doesn't make any difference.
Right.
They're still watching.
Mm-hmm.
What else was there? Yeah. So, Dr. Art and Kiwi are teaming up on a potential project.
Are they gonna try and overthrow you?
I hope so. I hope so. They're the only two people I'm not at war with currently. So we got to do something about that. Yeah. We got to do something about that.
Oh, I'm sure it'll happen naturally. We don't have to exert any effort.
So we'll probably do something about that this week coming up.
Open a fortune cookie.
Yes. Open a fortune cookie. And I only have 2 left. What's our fortune for tonight? This is it. Whatever it says here
Throw
is
them under the bus.
it for the night. Oh shit! It's ripped.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. We have to open the other one. There's another one there.
Well, maybe I could put them together. I'm gonna put them together.
Okay.
Okay. Because if this is here, I'll have fortune cookie. Here, lady. Yes. See, I give them my fortune cookie.
Yeah, that's nice.
If that's not love, I don't know what is, right? Okay. I'm gonna put together. Where were we supposed to end this?
Oh, it's Mopo Man 1978. I can't
Hello,
believe
Mopar Man.
people still support this narcissist.
I can't believe it either. But damn it, there they are. Try. traveling is not just about escaping reality, it's about creating a better one.
Well, there you go.
That's it, guys. That's the wisdom. That's what we're going to go by tonight.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Maybe I should get therapy for that.
For what?
Narcissist.
You're narcissist.
Yeah. If my narcissism is one off the chain lately.
He's not talking about you, he says.
Oh, he's not talking about
No,
me?
he's not talking about you.
I thought, oh well.
What other people want to say?
That's my persecution complex.
Are you going to get therapy for that?
And then, of course, the narcissist, I think everybody's talking about me.
Right.
There you go.
Is that what that's called, though, when you think everybody's talking about you? Is that
I
paranoia?
don't know. I make up terms as I go along. Yes, I'm paranoid.
You need to get therapy for that.
I'm
as
sure.
well.
I'm sure. There's got to be some schizophrenia in there, too. There has to be.
Well,
I thought we were ending this. I thought this was over.
yeah, we are.
Oh, is this still on? Or?
It's
Oh,
on.
jeez. All right. Oh, Dead Dodge Garage. If you guys still want to hang out and pick on me, I don't care. Go over to Jamie's
Is he
Dead
a
Dodge Garage.
narcissist too?
What's that?
Is he a narcissist too?
Of course he is. He's an idiot. He talks to me.
Okay.
So yes, go over to. I haven't been able to get into a war with him yet because he's so far away.
I know. What are we gonna do about that?
I don't know. I don't know. It may take longer.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Ready?
Make this stop,
Yeah.
please. I can't
All right.
talk anymore.
Okay. Do we thank everybody?
I thanked everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out
Profusely.
with us.
Yes.
We really appreciate it.
And putting up with my
And putting up with
problems.
all of our
Maggie, you
mental
love me.
issues. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, all.